Ah, ow. Hey man, me and the boys are gonna go play with the Rubik's Cube in the alley behind the DQ. You wanna come?
Ah, man, I can't. I'm wigging out.
Wigging out? You're wigging out?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm wigging out.
Why are you wigging out, man?
There's a dead guy's bones in my mouth.
In your mouth?
Did you say there's a dead guy's bones in your mouth?
Yeah, he's wigging out.
I'm wigging out, man.
Explain why there's a dead guy's bones in your mouth?
Oh, so I had this surgery. They put a dead guy's bones in my mouth.
Ew, dude. I'm wigging out now.
Yeah, dude. I'm wigging out too. Wanna wig out together?
Yeah, man. I'm down.
Yeah, man. Let's wig out together.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed that skit. If you're listening, definitely go watch that skit. Put a little time into that. It'll make sense when you figure out who we're talking about, if you know who they are. But we'll get to that. Hopefully you go watch that. I think you should. I think it's pretty funny. But I'm biased because I did it all myself. You may be wondering, oh, what? Welcome back to Out of Our League, episode 13. I am alone, so I'm already forgetting things. It's me, Mike. Tanner is taking another week off, which is fine. We want that for him. He's got a lot going on. He's got some stress going on. It's building up in his head, and that's okay. People get stressed out. People have anxiety. It's just deep breath. It'll be okay eventually, but we want him to get better faster, so we're giving him a break. But I asked him if it was okay with him if I did like a solo episode, just so we had something out there for you guys. As you know, we took a break last week, and I was on vacation, but I'm back now. So another thing, just to help Tanner out, he got into a car accident on Saturday. Today is Friday, Saturday before this, not tomorrow, Saturday, obviously. But to clear things up, we record these a week before they come out, so this will come out on Monday, but today is Friday. He had the accident last Saturday. Luckily, he was in a great car, protected him and his wife and his nieces, or niece. I think there was just one. However many there were. Tanner can explain the story next time he's on. Hopefully it's next week. Sorry, bumped the mic. We're pulling for you, Tanner. We love you. We hope you get better. But yeah, thankfully he's okay. Very, very minor injuries. He has like a little scratch on his knee, and his niece took a ride in the ambulance, but she's all right, luckily. The other person is okay too, but totaled cars, high speeds, not fun. But yeah, so that's another thing adding on to his stress. So that's fun. But it's me this week. Hi. We're going to have a good time. So obviously we dive into sports first. I just want to go ahead and say I was going to call Tanner and, get the lowdown on what's going on in hockey, but I'm just going to look it up myself because right now Colorado is in a series 3-2. This is hockey, Colorado Avalanche. They're winning the series 3-2 in the second round of the playoffs. They're playing the St. Louis Blues. They are currently down 2-1. Colorado is down 2-1 right now in the third. Hopefully they pull out a win so they don't have to play a game 7. But right now it's looking like 2-1. I'll try to keep this up to date for you guys as we keep going. But yeah, Colorado's leading that series. Let's see, what is today? I don't know what today is. Where are we? There we are. I'm going to cut real quick. All right. Sorry. I had to look it up. Pulled up a bracket because, my team, I'm repping them right now. I got the hat and the jersey. Shout out Tanner. He got me the hat for Christmas. I'm repping the Kraken, but they did not make it to the playoffs. So right now, like I said, Colorado's leading the series 3-2 against the St. Louis Blues in the second round. And then also the Edmonton Oilers beat out Calgary Flames. So they moved on to the semifinals. Tampa Bay beat out Florida Panthers. They moved on to the semifinals. It looks like Carolina and the Rangers are still going at it. And that looks like Carolina leads 3-2. They play again tomorrow. So we'll see about that. So there's going to be a semifinals pictures at some point. Pulling for Colorado. Hopefully they pull through. That'd be awesome. Because, man, it's going to be rough for Tanner. Talking about hockey as it's still going if Colorado's not in. But he loves hockey, so I think he'll be all right. A little bit of MLB news. Trevor Bauer's grievance hearing happened on May 23rd. That was old news. I was gonna say something last week, text Tanner about it, but we had the break, so that didn't happen. I think there's still a decision being made about Trevor Bauer, though. I actually didn't look up how that went. All right, so sorry. I had to look into it because I just knew that it started the 23rd. But it looks like there's not much information right now. There's a mix of opinions, but at the end of the day, it's costing the Los Angeles Dodgers money, because he's not playing and they spent money on him. From what I've read, I think we talked about this in earlier episodes. But it looks like his accuser had some evidence, and then there was the whole, I think I did bring this up. She went to some sort of medical center and had like CAT scans done, and there wasn't damage that she said that there was. Something along those lines, but there's also other evidence. And then MLB believes that it has a mountain of evidence against Trevor Bauer. So we'll just see how that unfolds. Once more information comes out, hopefully the right outcome happens, because we don't want someone who committed those acts playing a professional sport. I mean, that would be terrible. I'm at a loss for words right now because I'm just trying to imagine that, because it is a possibility that could happen. Hopefully not, though. If he did commit those things, hopefully they banish him, as they should. I'm gonna move on, though, because I could talk about this forever. Another person that was suspended, Josh Donaldson of the Yankees. He's always been that kind of villain guy, but he really took it to the next level. There was a game that happened recently, Yankees versus White Sox, and there was an altercation between Josh Donaldson and Tim Anderson, who is the shortstop for the White Sox. Tim Anderson is a black person. Josh Donaldson is a white guy. I feel like I don't have to explain that where I'm going with this, but there was some kind of altercation where they got into like an argument, and Josh Donaldson called Tim Anderson something, calm down, Jackie. And if you know anything about baseball, you know Jackie Robinson is a huge figure in baseball history because he was one of the first black Americans to play in the white league. They had this is just the term and the name of it. They had Negro leagues and they had the white leagues. He was the first to play in the white leagues. Played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. I am lightly stepping. Some of this I shouldn't have to lightly step on because it's just names, but I don't want to come off on the wrong foot. But yes, so he called him Jackie. Not okay at all. Josh Donaldson tried to say that there was some kind of past joke where Tim Anderson called himself Jackie Robinson and or like the modern day Jackie Robinson, and Josh Donaldson thought that was ridiculous or funny or something, so he called him Jackie on the field. That's what he says happened. And then Tim Anderson's like, no, we don't have that kind of history. We're not friends. That's not okay to call me that. Which is right. Why the fuck would you call him that? So he got suspended for, I believe, just a game. Yes, one game, and then there was an undisclosed amount of money. Hopefully it was a lot, because that's fucked up. Josh Donaldson, there's being a villain, and then there's being an asshole piece of trash. I guess we always need that kind of person, but you didn't have to go the racist route. Another piece of news, not really that lighthearted. The MLB wrote a memo to many of the stadiums about an unnavigable what? I don't know what I just wrote in this, but the women's facilities are trash, or in most of the stadiums. Autocorrect sucks, and that is not even words. Eatable? I'm sure eatable is not what eatable state. I'm sure that's not what I meant to write. However, MLB wrote a memo to the stadiums saying, hey, you gotta fix your women's facilities. They're garbage. So that's awesome. That's good to hear. Women are just as much a part of baseball as the men are, even though there's traditionally only men playing, and there still are. That doesn't mean that there's not ever going to be women playing the sport. It's just how it's come along. There are women that play the sport, and there's women that are managers in the minor leagues right now that are killing it. So, yep, that's sports. It's so awkward trying to figure out where to go next, and there's no one here to help me, but I wanted to do this, so we're doing it. Bump the mic again. I'm sure your ears are bleeding. I'm going to talk about the artist now. Jesus Christ, I'm so awkward. I'm so sorry. Can you see that? I don't know if that's blown out behind me. If you're listening, I have the album of the artist that we're talking about, that I'm talking about. If you're just listening and you have time to watch, or if you want to watch, absolutely. Please go. Fuck me. I keep hitting my goddamn microphone. Alright, I'm going to talk without hands. That's going to be really hard for me. If you're just listening, go check out our YouTube. We've got videos of the podcast up. And eventually we're going to start doing like other kind of videos where we're playing like sports or like video games or something. I know that we want to do like going golfing or going to batting cages or playing like a little bit of street hockey or something. I know that we want to do stuff like that and then play some video games. So some point in the future we're gonna have that on our YouTube. But right now it's mainly just our, not mainly, it is just our podcast. Would love if you went and checked that out. Anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about if you went and watched. I have Petey's album up. I'm talking about Petey today. If you don't know who Petey is, you might know him from his TikToks. Petey USA. That's where I found him. Oh my god. Awkward, odd, hilarious humor. He does these skits, and you know, the whole thing that was popular on Vine where you just change an outfit and that's like another person, but it's still you. He does that, but he does it in a very original way. Very funny. So I found him on TikTok. Lost my train of thought. Anyway, found him. Yeah, found him on TikTok. Watched his TikToks. I still do. They're funny. But he doesn't really promote his music except for in his bio on his TikTok. And I noticed it one day, so I went and checked it out. Oh my god, guys. I love his music. That's part of why I chose him. Because I like his music. I know Tanner hasn't really dove into him too much. But he has just 2 albums. I don't know why I'm doing the Robert Kennedy right now, the peace signs. Anyway, that just threw me off. What the fuck was I saying? Whatever. Anyway, so a little bit about how his music sounds and what his music is. So he does like indie bedroom pop kind of music. I believe he does all of his own recording and producing. To the extent of my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain. He is signed to a label, I believe. I don't know as much as I should. But I'm pretty sure he's signed to a record label. I could look that up, but I'm just gonna keep talking. He has 2 albums. They both came out in 2021. One is called Other Stuff, and then one is called Lean Into Life. And what I believe happened is he composed Lean Into Life with all this cohesive music, and then what he had left over, he did Other Stuff. And the way that it's ordered in Spotify is it looks like Other Stuff came out before Lean Into Life. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Lean Into Life came second. But yeah, Lean Into Life is very cohesive. Everything really flows together. But back to how his music is. His songs really just feel like nostalgia, like the 90s or the early thousands. And it's more of a feeling. It doesn't sound like it came from then. Like, it doesn't sound like it's a 90s artist, but it feels like a 90s artist, if that makes any sense. But yeah, the way he writes is like feeling in emotion. I just said that, but has a deep meaning for himself. Like, his lyrics are like a story. There's an overarching story to all of his songs. And there's like the feeling added into it, and then the instrumentals add into it. He's just really good. You should go check him out. But yeah, I find inspiration from him for my own music making. You know, I make music, Tanner makes music. Everybody that makes music draws inspiration from other artists, because that's just how the world works. That's how any art works. You have to, air quote, steal like an artist. That's something that you just kind of learn along the way how to take inspiration from people and make it your own, so it's not just a complete rip-off like Machine Gun Kelly does. Fuck you, Machine Gun Kelly. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna start with the album Other Stuff. So overall, this album is more of an indie sound than a bedroom pop because there's a lot more obvious guitars. It just feels that way too. If as you should go and listen, but when you do listen, you'll get that idea of what I'm saying. Lean Into Life is more of like an emo bedroom pop feel. But to start it off, in my notes, Other Stuff, I just wrote the songs that I really enjoyed. I wrote notes on. These are the songs that I favorited. I go way more into depth on Lean Into Life because hands down the best album I heard in 2021 that came out from 2021. Hands down. I still listen to it constantly. I listen to it 2 or 3 times on my vacation. So good. Anyway, Little Habits, the song Little Habits, it has minimal drums and not many songs of this genre that he's doing for this song, or songs of the lyrical content that he has of this song fit like that, or it's just like a synthy kind of key pad. And then he has lyrics and lines that are like, pains me that you won't know the best version of me. Beauty lies in starting something new. And the way he uses his voice in songs, and especially this one, he has one of those voices that it's not an amazing singing voice, but it fits perfectly and it doesn't sound bad. Like we talked about with Sticky Fingers, because you obviously listened to the last episode 12, with Scotty. That's something that I brought up in that episode too, is artists like this, they don't always have, Adele singing voices, but they fit in for how they write. Anyway, I'm going to go on a tangent if I keep talking like that. So I'm going to move on. The song More to Life Than Baseball has guitar in it, which isn't super common in the overall arc of sound that he has. And then he has like super simple lines and then like a super simple objective, I guess. I'm trying to use big words and I don't need to because I'm not as smart as I'm sounding. But he says lines like, I don't want to move on. Or this is how it feels, sorry. I don't want to move on. I like where I am, even if it's not good for me. It's kind of how this song feels and sounds with the lyrics, and that's what I get from it. You can interpret songs however you want. There is always the true interpretation from the artist, but that's how I interpret it, is I'm comfortable where I am. I don't want to move on. Because he has lines like, if the world is your oyster, I wish I could have them all. Because if my oyster is full of poison, I'll keep calling strikes and balls. So that's where I got that feeling from. The song Crash Into Me has these deep bassy synth keys. Guitar again, after I just said it's not very common. There's guitar again. And then this song is like about souls colliding. Has the line, crash into me and I'll come into you. I'll bump the mic. Crash into me and I'll come into you. No, it's not dirty. Okay. Get your mind out of the gutter. The song Haircut. I love the feature, Maya Follick. Never heard of her, but she has a great voice. She adds to the song just the right little dash of spice. She has her own verse, but I love the use of voices that are stretched and the key and the note of them are changed, so they're like string hits. They're like accents in the song. Ah, it's beautiful. Um, he just has overall he just has amazing instrumentals. Um, but as you'll see, as you'll see and hear when I get into Lean Into Life, and as you'll hear when you listen to it, because you're supposed to go listen to it. It gets better. His instrumentals are, well, it's the same year, but they're better in my opinion. In Lean Into Life. So, little quick overall. Like I said, easily my favorite album from 2021. Listened to it countless times. Still do, still will. The album as a whole hits just right. Hits all the feels. No matter what mood you're in, it's perfect. If you're down, it'll bring you up a little bit. If you're a little too happy, it'll bring you down a little bit. It kind of evens you out. But it's a good feeling. If you're angry, it makes you not angry. It doesn't make you angry, but I don't know. Yeah, it kind of just evens you out. Kind of hearing his storytelling and hearing these beautiful instrumentals. I'm gonna talk about notes now. Love you guys. Starting off with the intro song, California. Solid. Me and Tanner talk about it all the time, but intros for albums are very important. They set a tone, they set a feel, and if they're not good, it's gonna keep you down going into the album, and you don't want that. But California does a good job setting the tone. The synth stabs are tension grabbing, so it draws you in immediately. And then there's arpeggios in it, synth arpeggios that are just beautiful. And then the song as a whole gives a vibe of, if I'm going to be sad, I'm going to be sad where I want to be, and where I want to be being location. So in the song he talks about, if he's going to be depressed, he wants to be in California. The ocean has the only blues he needs. Just that kind of vibe. If he's gonna be in a bad place, he wants to be in a place that he wants to be, not stuck where he's sad. If I'm not repeating myself, and if that makes sense. Yeah. Next, Apple TV remote. Man, Petey is such a great storyteller. He gives great detail in the song, amazing detail. It paints a perfect picture of his story, and you can like see locations almost if you're one of those people that can actually picture stuff in your mind. But he's efficient with it. He doesn't drag out the song too long with the detail. And then the song in itself is relatable in a way to, I think, everybody, because it's about seeing someone you were in a relationship with thrive and do their own thing without you, and just seeing their life play out. And then it's kind of like you just have to move on kind of thing, because they're living their life without you. You got to live your life without them. And then the next song, I'm just going to keep rolling because I got a lot of notes. The song Pitch a Fit. Easily my favorite song off the album. My favorite Petey song. Probably my favorite song for the last couple years. Again, like I've been saying, go listen to it. Really solid. Really love his music. And go follow his TikTok, PDUSA. The instrumental is my favorite of the bedroom pop genre, easily. Like I said, for California, it's attention grabbing, draws you in, but it's not drawn out like me talking right now. The lyrical content is fun, and he has this yelly sort of singing, and then there's like this build up into an instrumental section, and then, I can't say 100% what the lyrical content of the song is about, but I believe he's talking to himself. And to get a better idea of what I'm talking about, you know what to do. Go listen. Tanner just texted me, "Oh my God," in all caps. So let me go check in on the score. Just a second. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So the Avalanche are up 3-2 with 5 seconds left in the third. Honestly, I thought the Blues were going to win. They were up 2-1 when I started the podcast. Let me see if I can call Tanner real quick. Look at his live reaction. This is fun. What's up?
I didn't know if you were watching the Colorado game at all. They just went up with 4.6 seconds left to advance.
Holy shit. No, I saw your text and I'm doing the podcast right now. Say what's up.
Oh, what's up? He's recording the podcast right now. Yeah, I completely forgot to record my reaction. It would have been all time. I scared the fuck out of my wife. Darren Helm had a fucking crazy wrist shot from the blue line. Got top corner to put them up 3-2 with like 4.9 seconds left to advance to the conference finals.
Hell yeah.
Fucking insane.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at the score before I started the podcast, and I let them know what the score was at, and I was like, yeah, Colorado's up 3-2 in the series, but it's not looking too hot right now.
No, dude, I have been just curled up on my couch, just fucking anxious the whole game, because Blues went up 1-0, Colorado tied it, Blues went up 2-1, Colorado tied it, and then, yeah, like I said, they just got the win. It was insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now we got to play Edmonton next, so that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough series.
That's going to be a fun one, though.
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
All right, man, I just wanted your live reaction.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to hear this back.
Well, congrats and have a good night.
Thanks, you too. Can't wait to hear the episode. I'm sure you're killing it.
Oh, I am awkward.
That's going to make it even better.
Oh, yeah.
All right. See you later.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
All right. So that was awkward. But it's okay because we love Tanner. So yeah, congrats to the Colorado Avalanche. Congrats to Tanner. Fingers crossed that it goes well with Edmonton. I think I know where I am. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I know where I am. All right, back to Petey. That's there was a transition. Whatever. The song "Don't Tell the Boys," another standout from the track list. This is a deep and emotional, open letter kind of song. Again, love the instrumental section. Has a great build-up. Again, he has amazing build-ups that, the drops hit just right. They don't hit too hard for the genre, and they aren't super soft where you're wanting more. And that's big for me. If you're going to do a build-up in a song, it's got to be, the drop, the hit's going to have to be good. But yeah, to me, the song is saying, hey, don't let people know that I have emotions, but here are my emotions. So it's like he's opening up, but he doesn't want, don't tell the boys. He doesn't want the boys to know that he opened up and then he has a soft side. Moving on to the song Microwave Dinner. Simple piano melody that drives the song. He talks about his doubts he's had with his relationship and if he really wants to commit to having children. And he also, does he really want to, like he says, take over his old man's Honda dealership, settle down, have a couple of kids, so he knows what being loved unconditionally feels like. And then he says, is that selfish? And then he kind of explores the idea of, what do I really want kind of thing. So it's a deeper song. This whole album's pretty deep, though. And then it has a little instrumental break, a little instrumental song. The song's called Oh Nice. There's no vocals. It's a short one. But I want a 10-hour loop of it. I could fall asleep to that song instantly, and I have insomnia. I don't know what it is about it, but that song makes me tired in a good way, if that makes sense. Like it hits the sleep button like on a computer. It hits the sleep button where you just want to chillax. And then after that it goes into We Go on Walks. And this song seems like he's talking to himself again. He says, we go on walks, but we don't really talk about anything. And then he talks about tears in his eyes. Have you ever seen a grown man cry kind of thing? But looking at the lyrics, it seems like he's talking to himself again, like we going walks, himself and his mind, or like his heart and his mind. Kind of like a therapeutic kind of thing. I can kind of relate. I did that a lot in college. I'll go into a deep dive since we're kind of talking about mental health with Tanner and this album, and Petey's music kind of deep dives into that. I was diagnosed with clinical depression and general anxiety disorder when I was in college, but I believe it was just tightened up because of college and some of the experiences I had, and then past traumas as well. But yeah, so I understand where Tanner is coming from, because for like an entire year I had a panic attack every day. Panic attacks suck, and anxiety attacks suck, which are different from a panic attack. Panic attack is like loss of breath, heavy weight on your chest, you get really hot, you're just uncomfortable everywhere kind of thing. Anxiety attack is just an overwhelming amount of stress all at one time. Those kind of go away pretty quickly. You can calm down from anxiety attacks easier, and they're pretty short. But panic attacks can last for minutes, a long time. So I understand the panic attacks, and I knew he was having a panic attack. The one day I watched him have one at lunch at work. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going with this. I think right, because the song, he talks about going on walks. So I did that a lot in college. My sophomore year, I didn't have a roommate. I didn't get assigned one for whatever reason, and that didn't help me at all, because my second semester, I keep bumping the mic, I'm sorry, you're gonna hear it probably, which sucks, because the second half of my freshman year in college, my roommate moved out to live with his brother, which is fine, but near the end of the first semester I had a bad breakup, and my depression hit all-time low or high, depending on how you look at it. But it got pretty bad. And then second semester I didn't have a roommate as well, Second semester, I didn't have a roommate. Second year, sophomore year, I didn't have a roommate as well because I didn't get assigned one. I did a lot of walking. I would wake up or not go to sleep, but I would be up really late in the night because I'm a college student at the time. But I also had insomnia, so I didn't really ever sleep that much. But I would go on walks. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I'm getting to the point. I promise. I would go on walks for a long time in the middle of the night, and it would be really dark. And at the time, I smoked cigarettes pretty heavily, so, that didn't help me at all. But yeah, I would go on walks, and there was like a park nearby the dorms, and I would just go sit in the park. It'd be completely dark, and I didn't care what happened. But I would be alone with my thoughts, and that would give me time to just, sort out, how am I feeling? My heart is feeling something different than my brain. How do I even that out? Sometimes it helped a little, sometimes it made it worse, because, that's not a great environment to do mental health assessment on yourself. Anyway, yeah, I kind of understand that. Man, that got kind of sad. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's We Go on Walks. The next song, We Don't Need to Talk About It. My favorite line from that song, and I think about it a lot, because I've always kind of felt this way, but I didn't know how to articulate it into words. He says there's a difference between saying something and having something to say. So basically, to dumb that down, I trust you guys to know what that means, but I'm just gonna break it down because that's what we do. Saying something just to fill airtime. Having something to say, you're adding substance. Or substance. You're adding something to the conversation. So, think of it like if you went to my TikTok and you went through the comments on my Day to Remember post where they stole from Merle Haggard, and then I got into a little bit of debates in the comments with some people. A lot of them ended up just having something to say, or saying something, not having something to say. So they would go right to, well, they're more talented than you ever will be. They're just saying something. They don't have anything to add to the... Fuck me, I keep bumping the mic. They're not adding to the argument in a way that drives it to a new point. They're just, getting to a point where they have nothing left to add, so they're just saying something. I'm over-explaining this. You're smart. I'm sorry. I don't mean to mansplain. But I think about that all the time, because that's how I kind of see conversations. If I don't really do small talk. I don't like small talk, because it just feels like you're just feeling silence, and silence is kind of nice sometimes. Just being with another person's presence, not having to say something because you don't need to. But the song ends with him saying, "Driving up to Michigan." That wasn't in key, but he repeats that, which is great because it leads into the next song, "Hey Man," where the first line is "Driving up to Michigan." Again, not in key. Go listen to the song. He does it better than me. But in that song, he's just reminiscing in the song "Hey Man." He's reminiscing on good times he had, and then the realization at the end of the song of, if you listen to the song, he talks about doing MDMA for the first time. And then there's the realization in the song at the end of, I don't need substances to have a good time. And then after that song, we have Comfort in the Clutter, the next song, which has soft, muffled bass keys and vocal string kind of accents again. And then the song's like, people are upset with him, because of how he lives. But you know, it's how he's grown up. You know, he's comfortable in his clutter, but there's also all the plastic the size of Texas Island. You know, it's just how he's grown up. There's always been clutter, garbage, and then this stuff has just been provided for him, so he's able to live in it. And then the next song, Lean Into Life, is a song about drug use and party life. Has the line, "Come on, buddy, you gotta lean into life a bit." That's like the chorusy part. There's not really a solid structure of the song, a verse, chorus, verse, chorus. But that's kind of like the chorusy part of it. Obviously, it's the title of the song. But the cool thing about this song is the vocals change. So he has like this yelly screams kind of voice that he does throughout different songs on the album. And then he also has background vocals that are soft that come in at certain points and then get drawn out completely, or they harmonize with his yelling. And it's really cool. And I think it works along with the theme of drug use, where it's kind of like you're not in your sane or sober mind, so you're like hearing these different voices that are changing and your environment's kind of changing with it. And I think it's really cool. Next is the song Tell the Boys, which is another instrumental, and I believe it is the song Don't Tell the Boys backwards without lyrics. I can't say for sure, but that's just what my brain tells me it is because of the title. And if you think about the song Don't Tell the Boys and then you hear this song, it sounds like it's just turned backwards. I'm sure there's ways of me finding that out, probably flipping it around myself, but I don't want to do that. So we're just going to say that's what it is. And then the final song is the song Perfect Teeth. And hey, it's another guitar song. It's a little indie fingerstyle kind of song. Has nice piano hits every so often. And then the song is about ignorance is bliss, peaceful bliss kind of thing, where he kind of talks about like if the TSA could stop you for intrusive thoughts, and then he goes into well, would you have really opened up the hatch and let all those innocent people fly out of the plane? Of course you wouldn't. And it's kind of like, you know, in his childlike mind state that he was in during this song, he doesn't realize all of that nuance is going on because he doesn't know it. But yeah, so that is Lean Into Life. That is Petey, and he is now on our minor league list because he has the 2 albums. And I talked about it with Tanner, and we came to the conclusion that there wasn't an order on the minor league list because there's just different genres for everybody. But I think eventually Petey will have more music, hopefully. Petey, if you're watching this, doubt it. If you're listening, doubt it. I would love to talk to you for the podcast. Just get a little insight. That would be kind of cool. And for myself. But also, I want to tell you, please make more music. Because I love your music. And I'm sure the listeners do too, because they're going to go listen to it now, if they haven't already. Yeah. Alright, so I haven't set up a timer at all. So I don't know how long I've gone. But I'm kind of to the point where I'm kind of done. You know, I could talk to a camera for hours, but I'm not going to do that to you. I mean, talking to a camera, talking to a mic, because you're also listening. I'm sorry, I'm very awkward. I didn't realize how awkward I was alone. But it's all right, because we're having a good time. So I don't know what's going to happen for next episode, but I'm sure it's going to be more normal. there's gonna be an episode either way. But yeah, thank you again for letting us have that break. That was much needed for myself. I was already on vacation anyway, but it was a good break because we do this every week. We did it to ourselves, but we like doing it, and we hope you guys are enjoying it. Again, let us know if you enjoy the podcast, what you would want to see from the podcast, what you want us to talk about, things like that. Again, we have an email if you want to email us, outofourleaguepod@aol.com, outofourleaguepod@aol.com. We also have Twitter. We talk a lot of sports. Tanner talks a lot of hockey, especially right now. I'm sure he's tweeting the hell out of Colorado right now. I tweet a little MLB stuff. I'll just bring up the Blue Jays real quick. They're disappointing the hell out of me. They are barely over 500. Star players don't know how to hit the ball. They're just chasing shit all over the strike zone. It's a complete and utter catastrophe. It's hard to watch, but there's a lot of season left. A lot to go right or wrong. We'll see. I'll update you guys. But yeah, they're barely over 500, which is, if you don't know, 500 is even for baseball stats. They're like 23-20 or 22-20. They're not doing horrible, but they're not doing what they should be with who they have. Anyway, yeah, I talk about MLB on Twitter sometimes when fuck me, I just slapped the shit out of the mic. Right. MLB, we don't really watch much of basketball. I don't really know what's going on with basketball. Let me look that up. You know what? I'm gonna look it up for you. What's going on in NBA? All right, East Finals. Oh, right now it is the fourth quarter with 4:42 left. Good Lord. Heat and Celtics. Celtics are up by 3. And Boston leads 3-2, so if they win this game, they're moving on to the finals. But yeah, Celtics Heat. And then, let's see. Warriors won their series against the Mavericks 4-1, so they almost swept. So the Warriors are going to the finals. Looks like, if Celtics win, it looks like it's going to be Warriors-Celtics. But Warriors-Heat is also an option. We don't really watch basketball because the Thunder haven't been really fun to watch in recent years. So if you're a basketball fan, I'm sorry. If you're a basketball fan, let us know and we can talk more about basketball. There's an idea. But yeah, we have Twitter. We have Instagram. We post on there when we remember that we have one. That's kind of my fault. I usually post on there. Tanner hasn't really posted on there before. But, we know how to get into our Instagram. We just forget about it sometimes. We have a TikTok. We love posting on TikTok. We love our interactions on TikTok. We love seeing that people have viewed our TikToks. So go follow us on socials. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give us a like. Let us know in the comments if you liked it or hated it. Because I believe they took the dislike button away. Or something like that. Very dumb. I think people should be able to give negative opinions. Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, hit that notification so you know when a new episode is up. If you're listening, give us a review on Spotify. Hopefully it's 5 stars. If not, that's okay. We'll get better next time. If you're on Apple, thanks for listening. If you're listening on Anchor, that's crazy. Fuck me, I hit it again. If you're on Anchor, that's crazy. I didn't know that people actually listened on Anchor, but thanks. I think that's all that we're on. Either way, thank you for participating in however way that you do. I am rambling. Trying to think if there's anything I'm leaving off. I don't think so. Bye-bye now.